Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, June 26th, 2024. You're here at precisealgorithmtrading.com. And let's dive in and do a quick video. I did not do a video last night. It's just a schedule conflict. So let's go in here and catch up for a day or two. So here's our automated trading systems. This is the Dow futures. And let's see what's gone on the last 2 days. So today's the 26th, so between today and yesterday we've had a couple of stop outs, no big deal. This is the Russell that's not quite ready for prime time, but you can see we're getting there. And today it would have had a big hit between yesterday and today. Just there's no winners there, but there's one. Sorry, 135. So anyway, it's not ready, and that would have been a before the market type move anyway. And then the Nasdaq's really doing well here, and between yesterday and today we've had some stop outs, a lot of those, but then we had a nice trade right in the middle there that makes up for all of that and then some. So yeah, sometimes these stop outs, when they're going in rows like this sequence, it's like you start to question your own sanity, but you have to go back to the chart of the equity curve, and that's where these green dots get you. It's as soon as you put in a new green dot, that's a new equity high in your account value. So all right, that's our automated trading. Our manual trading, I did not dump all of the special things tonight, so we'll just forego it. The S&P today went up 8.6 points. There was some pretty decent volatility today. So we're looking, just to refresh everybody, this is a monthly chart on the left, and this is a daily chart on the right, and we're monitoring really off the daily. We're triggering off of the hourly or the 4 hour or any number of other things. But the long and short of it is, like, the S&P's been going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or so months to the upside, and one of these days we're going to get a close and one of these types of pullbacks on a monthly basis, and that's going to show up. This dip right here didn't even show up as a red dip. If you go back here on the charts where we had this dip, that's that gray and red candle right there. And then if you go back here on the charts, you have this series of dips with a little bit of rally and then dips, and that's this whole thing down through here where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months of mostly downside. So we'll keep monitoring that because I think it's handy, and we really trade still off of the hourly or the daily chart. So, or at least that's what I'm doing. I'm using the monthly for sure, and I think actually taking triggers off the monthly when you get one that's like this. If you can see that, that's back in November of 23. Then that's a time to go long the S&P. I explained it. If you get a close back below this blue line, you're risking somewhere in the neighborhood of 5, 6, 7%, and you're trying to gain 5 times or so on your money. Anyway, let's keep going. The Dow today actually ended up 15 points, but it was a mess. It's this doji candlestick, which is this is tomorrow's candle showing up already. This seemed like a lot of volatility today when we were living through it. Let's look at it like this. Yeah, so it showed up as I guess I'd call that a hammer. I'm not sure if it really meets all the criteria, but shows up as a hammer candlestick on the daily chart. And you can see it's been going on now for a bit. We actually do have some volume spikes in it, which is good. That's what the blue dots are. and we got a volume move on this. So this is actually showing some relative bearishness or bullishness going forward here for at least a bit. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. And we have a squeeze on the daily, which could push us even a little bit higher. That's the Dow. The Nasdaq. Let's look at the Russell. So the Russell's in this consolidation pattern on the monthly chart. It's really doing that same thing on the daily. It's relatively bearish looking on the daily chart, except we've got the monthly behind it. So I'm actually long IWM, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to get stopped out, by like 3% or so down here. I've even got a stop set in place for that. And, in the meantime, I think we're generally okay. And that's a relatively new position for me, IWM. I've been in and out of it a bit, but I'm going to basically hold. We've only got through Friday for the rest of this month. Monday will be a new month. So basically this candlestick will flip over to a new start of a candlestick on Monday. So that's the Russell, which went down 0.26% today. The Nasdaq has had some, it's been given some back here lately, which makes a bunch of sense. So let's go to this chart. It doesn't have as much detail, so the futures are better. Yeah, but still perfectly bullish. And for fun, let's look at NVIDIA, because I think it's a good stock to keep your eye on. Still relatively bullish here. With the pullback there. So I'm just wondering if we're going to get down into the zone, but at this point I don't see it. So NVIDIA is going to continue to be a pretty strong player, it appears. Let's look at Apple since we're here. So Apple got really what I'd consider to be a buy signal on last month, and then for the month of June we've been pretty much all bullish, taking off from there. So it's too far extended for me to get excited about it at this point. Alright, what else are we looking at? So that's all the major indexes. Let's look at the IYT, which is the transportation index. So if you went long here, you'd be pre-running or expecting it to make another wave higher here on the monthly chart. You certainly could, and you'd only be risking enough until you got stopped out in a couple days if that happened. If not, you could get stopped out in a month, or it could take off. So that's kind of what's nice about looking at this monthly this way. And we're also starting to turn green and possibly turn up here. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. It might be a worthwhile trade, and I won't give it much rope. Oil is actually in a great position to consider a trade into basically Friday. This would be a buy signal for this month going into next month. So I am watching this thing and planning on really doing that. Executing is the word I was looking for. Executing that this weekend. So, or Monday even. So that's oil, gold. Gold's on this pullback that I got out of the way of, basically because of all this extension up here. If we take away these lines, I'll take away that one too. Oh, no, that's not a line, that's part of the study. Well, you can see these tails on these candlesticks on this monthly deal. So the fact that it was pulling back, the fact that everything's turned red here, I just didn't want to be in the way of it anymore. If we get another chance to get in, I'll take a look, but this is pretty extended at this point, in my opinion. Anything else we want to look at? TLT bonds. Bonds are possibly making a comeback here. It's been a long time since we even had a thought of a buy signal, which is all the way back in 2021, November of 2021. But look at it when it did. So, I mean, that's what I'm looking for, guys. Any one of these. So hopefully that makes you kind of understand what we're shooting for here. Now, could we have got in already and kind of taken the risk? Sure, we could have. And you can actually see it's a red candle here with I'm calling this a ribbon, in case I haven't said that out loud here, this green ribbon. So a red candle above the green ribbon, we could actually take this trade at any point here and not take a giant risk, is kind of what I'm thinking. So, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and put in an alert, give myself some time to think about it. And so here's the Bitcoin strategy ETF, and it's been going higher, but it's been in a pullback situation, so it's possible here that it could be a decent buy at some point. Right now it's a little bit more risky until it gets back up above that gold line on my Harvard lines. So I'm considering it, but that's why I have the alert right there. So, and that's probably good enough. I am tracking copper, COPX, and it also looks like it's already kind of moved for now and it's pulling back, but it's another interesting metal to think about. So anyway, I'll get out of here and move on to the bullish percent indexes and wrap this thing up. Alright, if you don't know what these are, go back and look at some of our old videos. This is the industrials. They didn't move today. The NYA actually put on a new O today and just extends the point and figure sell signal to the downside, down 1.14%. The transportation index didn't move. The NASDAQ down 0.54%. The S&P 500 down 1.36%. The S&P 100 down 1.41%. And the NASDAQ 100 down 1.72%. So that's interesting. Really not a lot of strength in anything today, but we have had some in the last few days, even in the face of some pretty decent volatility. So I am sticking with my plan, and that's what we do here. So until next time, take care, good trading, and have a great night.